Today we're going to learn how to do any percent HSG for Dying Light. We'll be covering all the programs and files you need to run the game before we get into the route. And if you want to just go straight to the route, there will be timestamps in the description, and everything else you need will be down there as well. First off, we want to go into our launch properties and do minus no logos, and that will skip the intro cutscenes whenever you boot up the game. And then we're going to switch our game language over to French. The reason for that is French is the fastest language in the game, and we'll be using French dialogue. But I'm going to show you how to get the French dialogue while having your preferred text and subtitles in the game as you play it. All right, so after French is installed, we're going to go to Browse Local Files, to the DW folder, Speech French. And here we're going to copy all of these and save these to our desktop. Put these in that folder. And then we're going to switch the language back on Dying Light to whatever your preferred text and subtitle language is. For me, it's going to be English, so I'll switch back to that. Now that we're back on English, we're going to go into Browse Local Files again, EW, and go to the Speech English pack. Replace all these files with the French files that you saved. Your desktop. And once that's done, when you boot up Dying Light, you should have French dialogue, but with all of the English text and subtitles. So next we're going to be using or installing the practice tools that we use for the run. Now, these practice tools are pretty unstable, so your game will crash when you use these, but I do recommend using it for, learning the route and everything like that. But when you do start doing runs, make sure you uninstall these files from your game, as your game will crash during your runs. So inside this custom packs folder, we have extra menus.pack. We're going to copy this. We're going to put both of these files in the root folder for Dying Light, which you can do by just going over here, browse local files, and install those or paste those in there. And when you boot up Dying Light, you should have access to the practice menu. Next, we're going to be talking about the tools we need to run this game. It's going to be Rivet Tuner. You're going to have to install Rivet Tuner. And when that's installed, we're going to be adjusting our FPS values that we use in the game. As for any percent HSG, we do use 5 FPS, and if you prefer 60 FPS for HSG and Dark Zone. So once you have Rivet Tuner installed, this is what it's going to look like. You can just copy these settings, how it looks on my screen. Then we're going to go to Setup, Plugins, hotkeyhandler.dll. Make sure this little check mark here is filled in. So you got to click that for the hotkey handler to be enabled. And then the only things I changed down here were on profiles. You can put whatever hotkey you want in here. So we want 144 FPS frame rate limit, as that is the max frame rate allowed for any percent HSG runs. So you can copy these settings. Modifier value is 144, modifier type is set, and target profile property is frame rate limit. And I'll just repeat this for 5 FPS and 60 FPS as well. And once again, make sure this is enabled for hotkeyhandler.dll, or else your hotkeys won't work. The program is always open when you're running Dying Light. So the most important thing to change in your options is actually two. The first one is going to be putting enable hints to off. Switch that off. And for controls, you want to make sure you go into the key binding settings and switch toggle crouch to off. Now we use this for new game runs. New game plus runs have toggle crouch on to abuse slide tech with the dagger that gives you movement speed buff, but new game runs, toggle crouch must be off. And we also need to go switch our FPS limiter to 144 FPS. And just make sure VSync is turned off as well. That should be basically everything to start doing your runs. All the other settings, just preference, including your keybinds and all of that. But we can go ahead and just load up a new campaign game. And we will be starting our run on story mode. So let's go ahead and get started with that. In this segment, we're going to be discussing hook stuck glitch, or HSG, and the applications used in the speedrun. This will not be a comprehensive breakdown of the glitch, and if you'd like to learn more about HSG, there will be a document in the description created by a couple of community members listing everything that we currently know about HSG. So first off, you want to make sure you're holding a one-handed weapon, as holding any other weapon can make HSG very random and send you off in any direction and kill you whenever it wants. You can also do this with your one-handed weapon, but it's a lot less likely. So we're going to explain how to activate HSG, and the way we do that is by doing a double animation with our hook. The way double animation is achieved is you want to go to a hookable object and stand far away from it, and then we are going to do a hook, cancel the first initial hook with a turnaround by sprinting and turning around, and then do another hook immediately after that. So this is the turnaround. The way we do double animation again, hook, turnaround, hook, and now we activated the first part of HSG. In order to enter HSG state, we now need to hook an entity such as a zombie or a dead body. So if I go like this, hook the zombie there, I will be in HSG state, and if I can tell I am if I look down and I'm slowly shuffling to the left without holding anything. Now we're going to talk about the first application of HSG used in the speedrun, which is flight. Now for this, you're going to need your toggle crouch set to off, and we're going to be crouching, swinging our sword or our one-handed weapon, looking down, and then moving our mouse left and right while crouch is still held to control where we fly to. You want to make sure you're constantly moving your mouse when you're flying with HSG, as if you keep your mouse still, your flight will fail and you will fall to your death. So let's activate flight now. I have a ledge to my right. I'm going to crouch, swing my weapon, look down, and move my mouse left to right. Failed it there. Let's try it again. I have a ledge to my right, crouch, swing my weapon, look down, and look left to right. And just like that, I'm now flying with HSG. Now, I'm going pretty fast right now, and I want to make my speed a little bit more controllable. So the way I'm going to do that is by toggling down my FPS. Now, I'm currently at 144 FPS, but I'm going to toggle down to 60, so it's a lot more controllable for me. That'll make me fly a little bit slower. Oh, I'm now down to 60. Now, next thing I want to do is cancel HSG and fall down and then land on something soft that will prevent me from dying, such as a van or a canopy roof or another soft spot like trash bags. So up ahead, I'm going to one of the first towers you meet in the speedrun, and this will be a van that we land on here, so you can practice this when you're learning how to do HSG flight. I'm going to go to this van, and then once I approach where I want to start falling, I'm going to let go of crouch, and I'm going to try to land on this van by using my keys to control my influence in the air. So I'm going to let go, start going towards this van, and just like that, I successfully landed on a vehicle using HSG flight. Now, it's really important to know that HSG flight is incredibly random, and it could kill you at any time. And largely, this glitch is up to luck and the performance of the player in navigating to where they need to go. But yeah, just like that, we're on this van at the tower where we need to go to in the speedrun. So let's briefly cover everything again. In order to activate HSG flight, when HSG is active, you need to go to a ledge, such as on a vehicle. You're going to crouch. Make sure that ledge is on the right side of your body. Swing your weapon. Look down, and then move your mouse left and right. And if you want to go a little bit slower, you can toggle down your FPS to something like 60. And if you want to stop flying, what you have to do is let go of crouch, and try to aim on something that you can land on that's soft, like a vehicle over here. We'll try that one more time, and we got it. Very nice. So let's get into the next application of HSG now. All right, so next we're going to be discussing Dark Zone, which is a technique that we use to teleport to safe zones and hit every single objective on the map. So first off, we need to activate HSG. And again, the first step is to do a dumble animation with your hook. We're going to stand near something like that's hookable, walk away from it to reach our max hook distance, hook, turn around, hook. Now we need to hook a zombie or an entity like a dead body. So now I have HSG active, and I want to perform Dark Zone. And the way this works is that we're going to drink a speed potion or any kind of potion, and then we're going to look up, toggle our FPS down to 5 or a low value like 5, and then spam our escape key. And if we do it correctly and with a little bit of luck, we should teleport to a safe zone while simultaneously hitting every single trigger on the entire map that we can walk onto. This can be a bit random. It may take you a few tries. So let's go ahead and try to perform that. I'm going to drink a potion, look up, toggle my FPS down to 5, and I'm going to spam my pause key. And that's going to take me to the safe zone. Now you can see in the bottom right, I also have a save icon. And the reason for that was that it updated my Mother's Day objective. This is currently the only objective that has a walkable trigger that I can hit. So now my Mother's Day is set to the next objective. That's how you perform Dark Zone. This is used a few instances across the run, and it's very, very useful for just getting to places quickly, such as, you know, safe zones or hitting triggers, basically anywhere in the entire map. But yes, one more time, I still have HSG active. The way we perform Dark Zone is by drinking a speed potion, looking up, toggling our FPS down to 5, and spamming the pause key. This will take you a few times sometimes, so don't expect it on the first try every single time. Just throw this to get rid of that zombie. So, drink a speed potion, look up, toggle FPS down to 5, and if you get lucky, you will perform the Dark Zone technique. I didn't get it there. Try it again. Speed potion, look up, toggle down to 5, spam pause. I'm getting pretty unlucky here. Okay, I did get it. Nice. Now we're at the safe zone. I hit every trigger on the map, and we performed the Dark Zone successfully. Now these are only 2 of the use cases of HSG. HSG can do a lot more, but we're only covering the techniques that we actually use in the speedrun. So if you want to learn more about HSG, go into the description. There will be a document on everything that we know about how to perform the glitch, and from there it's up to you to learn for yourself and any applications you want to bring into the speedrun. But with that, you should be ready to start doing runs, and thanks for taking the time to learn this, as it is a very, very interesting glitch. You know you switched your files around properly if you hear French dialogue here, but you have English text and subtitles. This is just going to be a general run-through of the route. There are lots of small optimizations you can do, but I'll just teach you how to generally perform every glitch. And from there, it'll be up to yourself to optimize everything as you see fit for your run. Now, the tutorial starts out a little difficult. We're going to have to go through 2 difficult sections, the first one being the out-of-bounds sequence, and the second one being the duplication glitch later on. But with enough practice, you should be able to get both of these down. Starting off here, we can take a little bit of a greater line by hopping over this bed. And from here, we're just going to walk over to Raheem upstairs. Once we get upstairs, we're going to be activating a cutscene. And for these cutscenes, you have to be holding space to skip them. So generally, beforehand, you want to be holding space already, so you start skipping the cutscene instantly. During this black screen, we're going to hold left and spam jump to get over this table. And now we're going to be performing the first out of bounds here. We're going to jump up here, go to the right so our hands are positioned near the wall. Look towards this wall, and now we're going to hold forward, jump, and then we're going to look down, and then up and down. That should clip us through the wall like this. Alright, once you're through, you can hop on top here, and up here. This is the difficult portion of the out of bounds. What we want to do is touch a trigger that's going to initiate some dialogue over here in front of the elevator, and then fall down to the 13th floor. So what we want is to walk down here onto this ledge, walk towards this pole, and then jump and press forward to hit the trigger, and then fall down and grab the ledge, and then press crouch to fall to the 13th floor. Should look something like this. Walk, jump, go forward, hit the trigger, grab the ledge, grab the next ledge, fall down to the 13th floor. Your movement is frozen right now, but once you regain control, just sprint forward, then fall off this ledge and turn around immediately. And now we're able to get to the 13th floor by running through this wall. Hit this zombie and then throw away your weapon, as we need to pick up a new weapon later on at the quartermaster. Alright, so we're going to open this door here, just for later on, and we're going to start picking up duct tape. Now, this duct tape is going to be used for a duplication glitch later on. I'm going to pick up this duct tape as well. Alright, so talk to Mark. Now let's go pick up the items needed to craft the medkit for him. You'll find the alcohol in this fridge. The gauze over here, behind this door that we previously opened. Alright, I'm going to get a prompt on the bottom of my screen to press F1, so I'm going to press F1 space F1. That should craft my medkit and exit the menu. Now we're going to grab an additional duct tape and a tin can. This tin can in the fridge is going to be used for a grenade crafting recipe. That will make if we can find the 2 additional ingredients required for the grenade, which is household supplies and chemicals. If we cannot find those crafting ingredients, we will just manually pick up grenades later on. Alright, so going into another cutscene here, so make sure we hold space. And during this cutscene, we want to be holding left and spamming interact to initiate dialogue with Raheem. Just like that, we finished our dialogue. Now we can bash through the door and go do the duplication sequence. So once you interact with your player stash, what you want to do is press E, space, and Q all right after each other. And this is going to equip your outfit that you need to put on in the other menu. So just like that, our outfit is equipped. And now, in order to do the duplication, we're going to put 1 duct tape in our storage. And then we're going to use the value of the duct tape in our inventory and withdraw that value using the duct tape in the storage. So we're essentially duplicating the duct tape in our inventory by withdrawing this value from our storage. That's how you perform the glitch. We're going to hover our mouse over our duct tape, exit the storage, and then we're going to go into the storage and press left and right mouse button simultaneously as soon as we see the menu pop up. So it should look like this. If you have this menu overlay and you did it correctly, you can press D to hover over the storage duct tape and then press C to withdraw the 2 duct tape that's in your inventory but from your storage. So now just like that, I have 4 duct tape. And we're going to keep on doing this until we have 8,194 duct tape. So make sure you put a duct tape back in there. Go into your inventory. Left and right mouse button at the same time. D, C. I have 6 duct tape. Again, put a duct tape in. Storage, left and right mouse button. D, C. Duct tape in. Inventory, left and right mouse button. D, C. And just do that over and over again until you have your 8,194 duct tape. This will take some practice, as is a kind of tight timing, but it's best to get as much practice on here as possible, because we will be duplicating later on as well. But now that we have the 8,194, we'll just withdraw that all and continue on to the parkour sequence upstairs. Those are like the 2 main difficult portions of the tutorial, so if you can get that down, you're pretty much golden for a little bit. Okay, so for this, we're just going to mantle up these 2 walls. And you can optimize this movement a little bit, but like I said, we're just going to go through the basics of this route. Once you get on top of this crane, we're actually going to jump off as we meet these 3 bars there. turn to our right, and then jump off this ledge as well. And we should be able to teleport right next to Raheem and be able to talk to him. When we talk to him, we're going to be skipping the cutscene, and then during the black screen, we're going to hold forward and left, and then back and right to fall down on the trash bags below during the black screen. I messed that up, but what you want it to do is sort of look like this. You get the idea. So when Raheem teleports here, make sure you're not touching him, as there is a chance to teleport with him. We're just going to make our way through here. Instead of mantling, just do a quick mantle up here, and then stop sprinting to regain some stamina. Start sprinting again. Now what we're going to do is place our back against this wall, look up, jump, hold back, and then hold forward to skip up here and do the same thing. Get on top of this ledge, climb here, and then we're going to climb here. So for this section, we want to hold forward, sprint, look roughly in this area, and just spam jump. And you should be able to make your way up here. And then we're going to go ahead and run all the way up here across the crane. We do want to be quick here, as we are trying to time some dialogue and an animation to happen when we want it to. We'll just roughly follow this line. Now the game is going to try and freeze us and put us in an animation, but we don't want to do that. So we're going to jump off the crane right here, and during this fall animation, the game is going to try and make us hold out our hand and do a long animation where crane stands still. But because we were in the middle of another animation, we actually overwrote that, so we don't have to go through it. So we're going to go over here, talk to Raheem. Then we're going to exit to the main menu and reload the game. Now this is just going to bring us next to the elevator. Now one important concept to know for the entire Dying Light speedrun is that during these screens, you can influence your player movement. What we're going to do here is hold down and right, and then press continue. What that's going to do is spawn us right next to the elevator, so all we have to do is just turn left, and then interact with this elevator to ride down. Now this is used everywhere in the run, and I'll try to explain my movement that I do during these load screens, during those sections where we exit warp and load back in. Yeah, that's pretty much the tutorial. Now we're on to the next part of the run. So we're going to go ahead and talk to the quartermaster. After you talk to him, a menu is going to pop up. What you want to do here is just press space and escape right after each other to exit that menu. That'll let you pick up the weapon. If you have dockets in your runs and you want to delete your dockets, there's actually a method to do that by deleting your default.pro in your Dying Light profiles. But this will reset all of your in-game settings and controls. But I honestly think it's worth it if you're looking to start doing runs, as dockets can be really, really annoying. Right, to not mantle this fence, we're just going to go on the side of the wall here to do a quick mantle. Now we're going to interact with this door. And during this cutscene, in the black screen, what we want to do is mantle on top of this ledge, and then on top of this fence. The way I'm going to do that is by holding sprint and forward, and then looking left slowly, and then jumping. And hopefully, if I do the movement right, that should put me on top of here and mantle the fence. So let's see that. Okay, we got a slow mantle, but that's not bad. Okay, so there's 2 herbs here we need. There's a chance 1 herb can spawn there, but that's okay, as we can just duplicate those herbs later on. There's also toxic lichen we're going to pick up. There's a chance that those toxic lichen can spawn somewhere else, but in most of your runs, they will spawn there for you. If you don't get that, you're just unlucky, and you have to go find them on a different set of rocks over there. You can interact with this crate and pick up the care package inside, and then we're just going to do another exit warp. Alright, so my game actually crashed there, but we're just picking it up right after we do the exit warp and load back in. The game crashed for me because I do have the practice tools enabled, and that does make the game unstable. So when you're doing runs, you should delete the practice tools from your files, and then start doing runs like that, and you shouldn't really crash. So during this black screen, after we teleported from picking up the care package, we're just going to hold forward and not sprint. Then after we press space to continue, we're going to hold forward and right. Here we're going to talk to Spike. After we talk to Spike, we're going to pick up the firecrackers. And then we're going to do another wall clip on this ledge to get through this wall, so we don't have to wait for our friend here who blocks the way. Do that. Pick up the firecrackers. Hang on the ledge. Do a wall clip. Look up and down. Now we're going to wait here till the trigger or the objective updates. And we can continue on. Now we're just going to go plant some explosives in these vehicles. So we can use them later on. Now we're going to be running all the way to the next safe zone. One important thing to know is that we are going to run out of stamina. So what we're going to do when we run out of stamina is kick. And that should give us all of our stamina back. Just continue running past all these zombies. Depending on the line you took, when you get on top of these stairs, you should run out of stamina at some point. Now, I get a kick, and that should give me all my stamina back. There's going to be a couple zombies here we have to kill. And the way we're going to do that is by doing hits on the head by jumping, and then pressing mouse 1, and that should make it so you hit their head, rather than standing still and swinging your weapon, which is a lot more difficult to hit their head with. So we got some dialogue to go through, and we're just going to farm some XP here for agility. Basically, whenever we have downtime, we want to be farming XP for agility, as we need a level 5. So we're going to turn this on and perform another duplication sequence. This one has to be done a little bit quickly. We're going to be duplicating our toxic lichen and our care package. If you only got one herb back when we picked those up, you want to duplicate your herbs as well. But if you got 2, you're fine. Don't worry about it. We're going to be duplicating these 2 items. We're going to hover over the 8,194 duct tape, and we're going to use the quantity of this duct tape to trick the game into thinking we're withdrawing that quantity from our storage. So, hover over duct tape, exit, interact, left and right mouse button, DC. Now we have 8,000 care packages. Exit, left and right mouse button, DC, and now we have 8,000 toxic lichen. Before you exit the menu here, place one more care package in your inventory for duplication later on. And then if we did it quick enough, you should be able to skip that radio interrupting your duplication sequence, which we successfully did. Now we're just going to run all the way back to the quartermaster to hand in our care packages, which are going to level us up, and do some shopping. The items we're looking for are plastic, household supplies, and chemicals. Also, you saw there I ran out of stamina, and I kicked, so I get all my stamina back. If you time it correctly, you can skip this mantle by jumping at the right time, but it is very difficult, and you're likely to get a long mantle like that. We're going to hand in our care packages and look for our items. So we want household supplies, plastic, and I did not get chemicals. But if you get nothing, that's okay. There's lots of more checks later on for these items. So after you do your shopping for those, we're going to do some upgrades. So go into Survivor, upgrade this skill, this skill, this skill, your grapple hook, and Ultimate Survivor. Now here, we're going to press Q, F, and space, and that's going to craft us a speed potion. Q, F, space. Actually, it didn't craft me speed potion. I had additional items. That was a bit weird. Do that again. Q, F, space, craft the speed potion. And then from there, we can just exit warp. To be honest, I don't know what else I crafted there. You don't want to do that. That's my bad. Just craft the speed potions. Alright, so during this black screen, we're going to hold forward and sprint. And then after we press space to continue, we're going to hold down and right. That's going to put us right next to the inventory for some more duplication. Okay, hop in the inventory. Now we're going to withdraw our grapple hook. Put a speed booster in, and now we're going to duplicate both the speed booster and the care package. Just like that. Now, one small time save you can do is when you're grappling this ledge up here, you want to make sure you grapple the left side, as you're more likely to do a long mantle if you grapple the right side. So let's see if it works. I still got a long animation, but you're more likely to get the quick animation if you go to the left side.
Ici Crane.
Au rapport.
J'ai rencontré le docteur, un scientifique. Il s'est fait un labo dans une sorte de remorque et travaille sur un remède contre le virus. Il s'appelle Zéré. Alors, vous me recevez?
So after this GRE call, I'm gonna fall down here and use my grapple hook a couple times, because each time we use the grapple hook, we get a little bit of agility
Reste ma
XP,
priorité, on est d'accord.
and during any downtime that we have, we just want to be farming as much agility XP as possible so we can get to level 5 before we enter the pit. I'm gonna fall down here. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna drink a speed booster. Now we're gonna start looking for our supplies. I'm gonna pretend like I didn't get plastic, chemicals, or household supplies. So I'm gonna be checking for all those items in these barrels. Looks like we got nothing. So we're just going to throw a firecracker over here, firecracker over there, so we can interact with these vehicles without these zombies bothering us. I'm gonna throw an additional firecracker just to play it safe. Then after you plant this one, go ahead and just mantle in the car, turn around, grapple over here. You can also cancel your grapple hook by pressing crouch. You don't want to go all the way to where it is. Now we're gonna power this light on, and then check this for any of our items. We didn't get them, so we're just gonna wait here for the objective to update in the top right, and then continue going on to power on all these switches. Cancel the grapple at the last second there, and then interact. Grapple down here.
Ok, les lampes sont activées.
Nice, we got level 2 agility. Now I do want to wait for my hook to recharge just a little bit here so I don't accidentally use all of it. I'm gonna interact with this door to unlock this teleport, which is Stuffed Turtle. And now we're just gonna try and do a little bit of XP here. Once we see the save icon pop up, we're gonna do an exit warp. Just like that. Now before you load in, we're actually going to switch to Nightmare difficulty. So press down, go to play campaign, press F, and go to Nightmare. And you also notice that I drank a speed pot before I did my exit warp. So during this load screen, I crashed there. Give me 1 second. Alright, so after you switch to Nightmare difficulty and press continue to play, what we're going to do during this screen is drink another speed potion, as speed potions in Nightmare and story mode stack with each other. So we're going to hold use to drink our potion here, alongside forward and right and sprint. And after we press space to continue, we're just going to hold forward and sprint. Space to continue, just hold forward and sprint. We're going to switch to our grapple. Grapple up here, down here, up here, and then we're going to start this cutscene and do some upgrades. Just copy these upgrades I do. What exactly I'm upgrading doesn't really matter. And we're going to switch our quest to Stuffed Turtle. If you did it fast enough, you should be able to get back into the game before you regain movement. So now we're going to interact with this and exit as soon as we see the save icon in the bottom right here. Just load back in. This is going to bring us to Stuffed Turtle. And we're going to be using our first application of HSG. We're going to be performing a Dark Zone. And if you need a refresher on how to use Dark Zone or any HSG technique that we use for this route, you can refer earlier in the video where we covered that. This screen, I'm going to hold right and press space. And we're going to do a double animation to get the first step of HSG, which we're going to grapple, look back, grapple. Now we're going to hook an entity, such as a zombie. Then we're going to look up and drink a speed potion while we toggle our FPS down to 5, and then spam space to perform the Dark Zone technique. Okay, we failed it. Let's try it again. Failed it again. Let's try it one more time. Okay, we got it. Now we can interact with this door and go to sleep. HSG can be a little bit finicky. Doesn't usually fail that often. Just got a little bit unlucky there. You should be able to get a first try most of the time. Now we're just going to make our way back to Spike to go do some more shopping. Make sure you're always drinking your speed potions whenever you lose one. Normally here, if you did your Dark Zone on the first try, you should be able to make it all the way here with both your speed pots. So we're going to talk to Spike, give him our care packages to max our level. Now we're going to do our shopping. For my run, I'm just looking for chemicals, but if you haven't got your plastic or your household supplies yet, look for all of those here. I didn't get chemicals, so it looks like I'm going to have to manually craft grenades, or manually pick up grenades. So during this Geo Recall, we're going to upgrade our unarmed ability and what we can for our stamina. I'm going to go to my quests, go to Bosak Horde, drink a speed potion, do an exit warp as soon as I see the save icon. Now before we load back in, we're actually going to switch our settings here. So we're going to go to return to main campaign. This is going to bring us somewhere else that's not where the Bosak Horde is. We're actually going to spawn upstairs here inside the tower. Very important, make sure you do that once again for this exit warp. We're going to skip this cutscene, skip this dialogue, form an exit warp, and then we're going to return to main campaign again. If you just load back in normally without returning to main campaign, you will be sent somewhere else where you don't want to be, and it sort of screws up the whole teleporting where you want to in the run. Alright, now we're going to go do the very long Geo Recall down here. Let's run downstairs. You can do a grapple here, grapple up here. And we're going to upgrade all of our abilities and everything we need. So I get a continuous stamina, our health, health regeneration, and our firearms. Additionally, we're also going to upgrade our agility so we can get side dashing. And if you have the crafting ingredients to make grenades, go ahead and do that now. I'm going to turn my speed booster over here so I can make inventory space when I pick up grenades manually. And we're going to teleport to Stuffed Turtle. Drink a speed potion. Do an exit warp. And then we're going to go back to story mode here to stack our speed pots. Alright, for this loading screen, we're going to be pressing use to drink a speed potion, along with forward and sprint. After a couple seconds, I'm going to let go of my use and start jumping to get over this barrier. Over here. Now there is an audio cue for this cutscene. So what I'm going to do is after I open and skip the cutscene, I'm going to be running forward. And then when I hear the audio of running across these metal little rooftops here, I'm going to hold it forward and left and jump and try to hook onto this building over there. Let's see if I can do that. Almost. I got a bad mantle and I meant to hook over here to this building, but that's okay. You get the idea. So we're just going to run all the way over here. And now if you crafted grenades by this point, you can actually continue running all the way to the next objective. But if you don't have the crafting ingredients for grenades, this is where you pick them up. Just grab 2. And then you can continue going to the next objective. Going to grapple on top of this roof. Grapple on the hill. Our grapple hook usage is kind of tight here, so be wary of how many grapples you have left. We're going to pick up this parkour flag. Gives us a lot of XP. Then we're going to switch to an unarmed weapon, so we can use our fists to one-shot all these zombies down here. Alright, so we're going to be able to interact with this crate. Once we do that, after we skip the loading screen, we're going to be holding sprint and forward and jump, mantle onto this, over onto this roof. We'll try that. I'm just going to drink a speed potion. Failed it. But just try to get over here. On top of this bus. I'm going to cancel my grapple hook there because I know I'm going to get a long animation if I finish that grapple onto that van, as I realize that I hooked at a bad spot. So it's important to make those, like, realizations that, hey, my grapple's bad, so I should be canceling it instead of going throughout the entire animation and possibly doing a very long mantle animation, which adds up over the course of the run. Alright, so after this cutscene, we're going to go into our quests and set our quest to Holy Year Tunnel, which we're going to teleport to after we go through this cutscene, which is Holy Year Tunnel right there. Once you see the save icon, do an exit warp. Just press space to load back into the game. Now for this black screen, we're going to hold forward and right, sprint. And then after we press space to continue, we're just going to hold forward with sprint and jump. We're going to do grapple down here. Grapple this fan. I'm going to cancel grapple so I can jump over this wall. I got some dialogue to go through here, so during this dialogue, I'm just going to be getting as much parkour XP as I can. Then we're going to do a wall clip here. This wall clip is to get a little bit of XP, as the further you are away from something when you grapple, the more XP you get for agility. Once you see the objective update on your minimap with the white circle, you can go ahead and go interact with this door. Hold right, turn around, and enter the building. I see I'm out of my speed booster, so I am going to pop another one during this load screen. But what you're supposed to do here is hold forward and left, and then after you press space to continue, just hold back. So we're going to talk to Kareem here, and then we're going to go do some shopping. Before we do that, we're going to sell all of our duct tape. And then we're looking for a couple items here. We're looking for a semi-automatic shotgun, which is the most important weapon for the entire game. If we can, we'll get a military rifle and an SMG. So it looks like I got the SMG. I'm just going to grab that. I don't see any other weapons that I want. And if you did find plastic here, this will be your time to pick it up. If not, we have some more checks later on. And just in the meantime, just pick up all of this ammo here and then do an exit warp back to Holy Year Tunnel. So we got one weapon there, we're okay. If you have to pick up a police rifle and there's no other options, you might as well do it. So we're going to be performing another HSG here, but instead of using Dark Zone, we're going to be using the HSG Flight. And if you want a refresher on how to fly with HSG, just refer back to earlier in the tutorial where we covered how to do the HSG techniques we use in the run. So for this black screen or this load screen, we're going to hold forward and left and sprint. After we press space to continue, just hold forward. We're going to perform a double animation. Make sure you're holding your one-handed weapon. Now we need to hook an entity like a zombie. If there's no zombies here, they might be over there, or they might be over there for you to hook. We should have HSG active. I do. Now we're going to start the GRE call. Then we're going to look down, so we shuffle outside of the GRE call and make our way to this ledge over here. So let's try that. Look down to get over here. Now once you're roughly here, look up and do not move. Because there's a chance you just get teleported like that. We're going to move to the left here by looking down. Then we're going to press... Oh, gotta move more to the left. There. We're going to press grapple. Grapple. Now once we're climbing this, switch your quest to Pact with Rise. Now we're going to do the HSG flight technique. We're going to swing our weapon, crouch, look down, and continuously move left and right ever so slightly to maintain your flight while we make our way over to the next objective. Now we're going to try and land on this van over here. If you ran out of your speed pot, you can just try to land on the van and drink your speed potion at the same time. But once you land, go ahead and do another exit warp. And the reason for this exit warp is that we want to remove the HSG state, as we cannot use our grapple hook normally right now. Once we load back in, we're just going to hold forward and right and just press jump times. And then once we see what's going on, we're going to throw a firecracker and open this door. Now, I notice I'm out of my speed booster, so I do need to find a good moment to drink that. But first, we're going to throw an additional firecracker to distract these guys. And then I'm going to use my speed booster after I turn on the power here. Or I'll do it now. There we go. All right, we're turning on the power. We're going to switch back to our hook. Hook on here. Hook to the tower. Now, when we do this next hook, there's going to be a zombie on top of this tower, and we want to try and kick him off the tower for some agility XP, just like this. If you can't get that kick, that's okay. But as you can see, I just got 100 XP. After you open that, we're going to switch our quest to Stuffed Turtle, and we're going to do a grapple hook right here. Cancel the grapple, or don't cancel if you manage to grab that. Just go ahead and spam space to get to the top of this tower. Pick up this parkour flag, fall back down for some more XP, and just grind as much XP you can before you see the save icon. See the save icon, go ahead and just do another exit warp. So after doing your exit warp on top of the first tower, we're now at Stuffed Turtle. During this load screen, we're going to hold just straight right, press continue and keep holding right. We're going to immediately turn around, grapple on this ledge, grapple on top of this rock, and then jump and do a grapple up here. Now this can be a little bit tricky. We're going to grapple, and then hold back and cancel our grapple to hook onto this ledge up here. Just like that. The reason why we have to cancel and hold back is so we exit the safe zone, so we can have our grapple again. Just open this box and power on the antenna. During this, we're going to go to Holy Year Tunnel as our next quest. Coming up, we have a little bit of a tricky grapple that we need to perform. So because we're considered in a safe zone right now, we are unable to use our hook, but we need to get on top of this tower somehow to collect the parkour flag. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually slide down this rope here. And once we slide down far enough, we're going to press jump, turn around, and try to hook to the top of the tower to where we can mantle our way up the rest of it. This is very difficult, and it will take a couple tries to practice to get this strat down. I still fail it in my runs, but we'll see if we can perform it. After you get to the top of the tower, you want to drink another speed pot if you have no speed boost left, and then collect the flag and do an exit warp when you see the save icon on the bottom right of your screen. How did that work? I have no idea how that worked. It was very scuffed, but we got it, so not too bad. Again, very, very difficult technique. Alright, so we're on our way to Holy Year Tunnel. We're going to hold a forward and right. And then after we press continue, just hold a forward and spam jump. I need to go back to Rise's compound, but instead of taking the left route, we're actually going to take the right route here, as it is a little bit faster. Cancel your grapple right before you touch the wall. Now we need to talk to Rise. So for this load screen, we're going to hold forward right sprint, press space to continue, and then from there we're going to hold back and just spam interact to talk to Rise. After conversation with Rise, we need to go talk to Kareem. Turn around, and then exit the compound. So we're not going to hold anything for this load screen, we're just going to press continue, and then after that we're just going to hold forward and sprint. Now we're going to go perform a death warp during this next gear recall. And what that's going to achieve is not only skipping a portion of the call itself, but also spawning us at the next, or the nearest safe zone, which just happens to be next to where we need to be. We're going to go equip a grenade, aim roughly here, and then jump near the grenade, so you die during the radio call with the GRE. Right, skip this cutscene, and we should respawn over here at this safe zone. And we're going to be performing another HSG.
Okay, terminé.
Before we continue, I want to talk about how HSG works with our FPS. Generally, I am using 144 FPS most of the time, but sometimes your HSG flight is going a little bit too fast. So what I'm going to do in that scenario is toggle down my FPS to 60 using one of my hotkeys, and it should make the HSG flight a little bit more controllable for me. That is something I use on this HSG flight quite often. But let's continue. Up here. Grapple up here. Then we're going to initiate HSG by doing a turnaround hook on this sign. Then we're going to go talk to our boy Jafar. Now we need to activate HSG. Remember, it's not active yet. In order to activate it, we need to hook an entity, like a zombie. We're going to hook him, hop on top of this ledge, and perform HSG flight. Going really fast here. So I do want to slow down HSG by pressing my 60 FPS bind. I'll fall down onto this bus while drinking a speed potion, and I fell through the map. That's just something that can happen with HSG. It's very unfortunate that it happened here, but here's your backup if that happens. You're actually going to respawn here at this safe zone. And that's the bus we were trying to land on. But we can just go ahead and go over here and continue. Normally, we would still have HSG active here if we successfully landed on that bus. So at this point, we would need to deactivate HSG somehow, so we get access to the hook again. And I'll show you how to deactivate that. So just imagine I successfully made it on the bus, and I'm continuing like normal here. So turn on your flashlight, and you're going to lure this bomber zombie here. What you want to do is kick him, and after you kick him, it should remove the HSG state, and you're able to use your hook once again. So that's how you would normally go through that if you didn't die like I did. Gonna make our way over to the fishing village. As we come down here, we want to make sure we activate this car trap, as this will make the other zombies here explode, as there are 2 bomber zombies in this area. That guy exploded, that guy didn't. You can throw a firecracker here. Switch to your one-handed melee weapon and perform double animation to activate HSG. Off this ledge. Alright, so now we're waiting for some dialogue to start. And then once that dialogue starts, which is now, we're going to talk to Musa to skip all that dialogue, and then go down here and activate HSG. And then we're going to do a very difficult HSG over here to this area. I am going to use 60 FPS to slow down. We're going to try land on top of this canopy rooftop, just like that. And from here, we're going to go inside. Now, if you didn't skip the dialogue by talking to the NPC earlier, you'll actually still have dialogue that's going on with Kareem here that will prevent you from talking to this NPC and continuing the quest. So it's important to skip that dialogue earlier. Talk to him, pick up the package. Now here's an additional place where we can go shopping. If you didn't get plastic yet, make sure you look for plastic. There's a police rifle, but I really don't like the police rifle, so I'm not going to pick that up if I can find something else. And unfortunately, I don't really have any options here, so I have to pick up the police rifle. Very sad. There's plastic, but I already got plastic, so I don't need to worry about that. But again, if you need plastic at this point, you can continue looking for it. And since we already have our grenades from earlier, we don't need to worry about chemicals or household supplies anymore. But I'll grab some SMG ammo. And then we're going to go ahead and switch our quest to a turtle. And I'm going to use my speed potion here. But because we have HSG active, you got to be very careful, because you can just go flying around anywhere if you use a speed potion with HSG active. So what I'm going to do is look up and then drink the speed potion. So that should minimize the influence HSG has on my movement when I drink that. So once we see the save icon, we're going to go ahead and do an exo warp here. And load back into Stuffed Turtle. For this, I'm just going to hold right. Press continue and continue holding right. Grapple over here. Now, there is some downtime in this section, so I will be maximizing my grapple usage. Interact with the body, pick up the envelope, switch your quest to Holier Tunnel. I just want some XP here, so I'm just going to do some grapple and mantling. Once you see the save icon, go ahead and do an exo warp. Alright, back at Holier Tunnel. hold forward and right and sprint, press continue, hold forward and sprint, and just spam spacebar.
Beaucoup d'amis dans le coin. La vache!
Now, just like the first time we came to Holier Tunnel, we're gonna take the same route. Some weird grapples there, but just get over here, talk to Kareem. Hold space before you start this cutscene. Remember, that is just a little bit faster if you do each time.
Oh merde.
We're gonna go to the next GRE call. So we're gonna go up here and perform another death warp. So switch to your grenades, aim roughly here, throw the grenade, land on it, and you should be good. So after we load in here, we're going to switch our quest to Mother's Day,
Avec Rice.
and then perform an exit warp after some dialogue. So there's going to be some stacking save icons here, so it's a bit tricky to tell when you can exit warp. So generally, after Crane's dialogue
Allez,
here,
vous le faire foutre.
when you see that fade out, go ahead and do an exit warp and you should be good. Alright, so we're back at the tower by teleporting to Mother's Day here. And what I'm going to do is just press space and then hold right afterwards so I can get closer to the messenger who we need to have a lot of dialogue with. Just like that, I finished all my dialogue. Now I get to ride the elevator up. Now we have a long sequence here where we're just waiting for the GRE call and everything. After some cutscenes. Make sure you're holding space for this cutscene as well. And you can go ahead and drink a speed potion if you need to.
Je vais enfin
And just
pouvoir
make
faire
your
quelque
way
chose
back
de bien.
upstairs. Hold forward and right, then move slightly to the right during that black screen. And just make your way up here. Now the menuing here is just going to your quest menu, pressing down and pressing enter, and you can do that very quickly.
Il faut que vous recommenciez
And
à
you
livrer
should
l'artillerie
switch your
près de la
quest to
tour.
gassed
On en
up,
a besoin.
just like that, and then just get out of the menu. We're just waiting for this dialogue to go through. At the end of this dialogue, I think we have time to put on another speed booster before we do our exit warp over to school.
Donnez-nous de l'ortisine. Et ensuite,
Now for this run, I didn't get a shotgun. But generally, when you are in combat with enemies and you need to wait for their animations where they die, you do want to be using a shotgun, as that minimizes the length of their death animation and makes just fighting sequences a lot faster.
Je vais le trouver. Mais
But
je vais
I'll go
continuer
through this
pour
run
l'étudier
as like a
tranquillement
worst
avant
case
de quitter le
scenario
camp.
example of what you should do.
C'est Jade. Tu m'entends?
That's weird, I didn't do the falling animation there. But talk to this NPC to skip the dialogue,
Qu'est-ce qui se passe?
and then go ahead and do your exit warp to gassed up. Alright, so this screen, we're going to hold forward and left, sprint, and then after we press continue, just hold forward and sprint and move your mouse to the left.
C'est qui, toi?
Mantle down here, do a hook on top of this pole, and hold space, hook over here, and interact with this. Now we're just going to continue holding forward and
Ils sont
sprint.
combien à l'intérieur?
J'en sais rien.
I need to drink a speed booster. And now we're just going to make our way inside the school. You want to be quick here after you bust open these doors to interact with this hatch, as if you're a little bit slow, that bomber will explode and interrupt your hatch entrance. So this is school. Generally, you want to use your shotgun here for most of the enemies. But the movement for this load screen is forward and left. After you press continue, hold forward and down. And we're going to turn
Je suis entré.
and go interact with this shelf. Switch to one of your primary weapons, because we need to break some glass.
Le jargon militaire est plutôt simple.
We're going to shoot this glass, mantle and hook, cancel or hook, bash this door, and open this door. Now we got some downtime here, so go ahead and reload your weapons or do any hooks that you need to do. Open this door, shoot this enemy, and shoot these two enemies. Don't enter this room yet. You could delay dialogue by a bit. So just go ahead and enter after you... That was weird. Enter after the dialogue starts. And hook a couple times here. And then continue. Shoot this guy, bash open this door. This is where you want to use your shotgun if you have one. It's on these enemies over here, as it does save a significant amount of time. Alright. Back to this chest. And then go push this. Turn to your right and kick. And open this closet. Now, there's a chance plastic can spawn in here. So just keep that in mind, that if you still need plastic, that is a check. Also, I picked up those keys so I can open that door. We're going to use a firecracker here on the stairway to get that guy distracted. Continue sprinting down here. Shoot the bomber that's here. Sometimes this bomber doesn't come through this door, and so you'll have to go over here and kill him manually if you're still in this room. But after you shoot the bomber, hold space and then open this door to skip the cutscene immediately. We're going to hold forward, shoot this guy, and this enemy. And those are the only 3 enemies you need to kill. Then you can go ahead and leave the school. Now after we leave school, there is going to be a cutscene, so all you want to do here is just press space to continue, and then hold space to skip the cutscene. And then we're going to see a save icon on the bottom right. After we see that save icon, we can go ahead and switch our quest to Mother's Day, and then perform an exit warp. Now, immediately, as soon as we load back in, we just want to switch our quest to Bahir, Goodnight Mr. Bahir, and then do another exit warp again. That will update all of our questing, so we can just immediately go talk to Raheem upstairs in the tower. There is no movement for this black screen, or this load screen. Just press space to continue, and after that, you can just hold forward and sprint, and get ready to go upstairs. Talk to Raheem,
Okay.
and from here, we're going to just do another exit warp immediately, after talking to Raheem. Now, for this black screen, we're going to hold forward and right and sprint after we press continue. Just hold forward and left to go down the stairs here. Go talk to our boy Zara, and then switch your quests back to Mother's Day, and then do another exit warp. Now, timing is pretty strict here, so you want to be quick with your movement. What we're going to do is talk to the quartermaster, and then we have to go pick up some bolter tissue that's spawning on a zombie that we have to go hunt down. If you do not get into the distance to load in the bolter, you will have to go sleep and make it nighttime again, before it turns day. So let's try all that. Teleport it to Mother's Day, just sprint and hold left. Talk to the quartermaster, turn around, and just try to grapple all the way to the bolter before it turns daytime. I'm going to get a long animation there, so I canceled my hook, just to prevent the animation from happening. Here's the bolter. Shoot him, search him, exit warp. Now you should be spawning back at Mother's Day, which is inside the tower at the bottom. Now there's no movement for this load screen, so we're just gonna go forward, left, and sprint. I'm gonna drink a speed potion as I ran out. Get a grapple over here. Grapple on top here. Go interact with this door. Skip this cutscene and switch to on the hooks. After you see Raheem's dialogue, go ahead and exit warp. And you saw that I also did 2 mantles during that downtime. Just again, maximizing your agility XP everywhere you can. For on the hooks, you can just hold back or down right, sorry. And after you load in, turn around. Now we have time for 1 additional hook here. Interact with this body. And then make your way back over to where we just came from. Make sure you manage your hook usage here correctly so you don't run out. And then just interact with this door here. Before you interact, make sure that if you have a shotgun, you're holding it. so you can kill all the enemies in this next area very quickly. So for this load screen, we're just going to hold forward and sprint. After we press continue, just hold forward. And then kill all the zombies here. After all those zombies are dead, just interact with this cutscene. And then shoot the Spitty boy up top. You need a speed booster. Make sure you drink one now. Hold space. Interact with the cutscene. Hold forward and left while sprinting to get over here. And we're going to fall down here and use a grapple to try and not land in the water. Sort of like that. That went pretty good. I'm going to go up here, wait for my hook to come back. Get a drink of speed booster here. And we're just going to make our way through this area. For your next hook, wait to use it before you pass this pole. Or after you pass that pole, as your head will get stuck on that if you use it before that. Now, some runs, you may already get level 5 by this point. So if you do, go ahead and upgrade to your level 5 agility. Along with getting like the head bounce skill as well. But I'll show you the exact agility upgrades we get later on, once I actually get to level 5 myself. We're going to be doing an out of bounds sequence here, but you do have to be sort of quick for this. So make sure you practice this. So what I'm going to do is that on this little sky area, roughly where my mouse is, there's actually a hookable area here. And we're going to hook this part. And then what I'm going to do is hold forward and sprint and move to the right to get around an invisible wall to get out of bounds. This is roughly what it should look like. This is a little bit difficult, but with enough practice, you should be able to get it. I'm going to look to the right, jump, hook, hold sprint and forward, go around, and now we're out of bounds. Going to fall down here, swim back up, hook our way back inbounds. I'm holding space right now, so I skip this cutscene. Once I see the save icon, exit warp. Load back in. And now, when we load back in, we're going to switch our quest to Mother's Day. And we're waiting for Crane to scream like Raheem, I think. And then we're going to do an exit warp as soon as we hear Crane scream. Just like that. Load back into Mother's Day. Now for this load screen, we're going to hold just forward and back. And then we're going to continue holding space here. So don't let go of space because we immediately need to start another cutscene. So hold forward and back. I'm still holding space so I can start this cutscene immediately. I'm just going to hold forward and jump over here. Kill all of Rise's men at the compound, or Zera's little hideout. After all those enemies are dead, we're going to perform our double animation to initiate HSG. And once our friend here is interactable, we're going to talk to him, activate HSG on him, and go do a very difficult HSG sequence up here. So what we're going to do is just fly all the way around to go to the next area to activate the update for the Mother's Day quest, which is Find Ghazi's place. If this is too difficult for you, and you do not wish to do this HSG flight sequence, instead what you could do is a dark zone here. So by looking up and drinking your speed potion, while toggling your FPS down to 5 while pausing, you can do a dark zone and it will update your quest properly without having it fuck up any other quests that you see down here. Again, if this HSG flight is too difficult, go ahead and just do Dark Zone and then wait to exit warp to Holier Tunnel. So let's do the HSG flight. Hook down. Start flying. Fly this way. Go against that wall. If you go any closer to that wall, you will go out of bounds. Then we're going to try land on top of this bus here. You got it? Gonna go back to 144 FPS as I was toggling down to 60 for more accurate flight. Now here's the trigger to activate the next part of Mother's Day quest. And from here, you just want to go ahead and switch to Holier Tunnel and do an exit warp. But again, in order to update Mother's Day quest, you just have to walk in this area and then go to Holier Tunnel. And if you don't want to do that flight, feel free to just do Dark Zone. So for this movement, we're going to hold forward and right. Just hold forward now after we press space to continue and spam jump. We're going to hook down here. I see I'm also level 5 now. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade my abilities. So agility, we're going to get Vault to bounce or pounce over zombies' heads, and our free running adept. That's all the skills we need for the entire run. We're not going to worry about anything else. And then just go ahead and interact with this hatch. Now we can move on to the pit sequence. Alright, so if you got plastic by this point, you're pretty much good for the rest of the run, because the other 2 items we need will always spawn here. So make sure you always pick up the household supplies and the chemicals, and you can see that I can craft a new item. And that is talking about the toxic trap bombs we'll have to craft later on. But now, we're stuck in this long GR recall, but we're going to save some time here by performing a difficult out of bounds, like clipping through this wall. So what you want to do, the inputs here are a little bit tricky, so try to follow along, but I'm going to press space, move to the right, and try to mantle on the back side of this fridge. Just like that. I'm going to turn around, make sure my hook is equipped, then clip through this wall, then hook up here. Oh, sorry, in here. Now, if you don't have plastic, you can check this crate here. Nothing. And if you don't have level 5 at this point, go ahead and just grind levels by going here and putting up your agility or using your hook. Before the dialogue ends, drink a speed potion, stand here so you're still in the GRE call. After you hit the radio, go interact with this elevator. So we're going to fall down this elevator shaft and then use the hook to make sure we don't die from fall damage. Interact with this door. And then make your way through the compound here. I'm going to switch to a primary. I'm going to use my police rifle. This one is tricky here. You're almost always going to mantle this wall. But I guess I got lucky. It didn't do it that time. Those are actually really good hooks. I'm usually not that lucky. So you're going to wait here where I'm standing. Make sure you look at your minimap and wait until your objective updates and you see the 2 enemies spawn on your minimap. I get to wait, and I'm good to go now. This enemy spawned, sort of this one. Hook down here. Shoot these 2 guys. Shoot those 2 guys in the far room. Shoot this guy. 1, 2, 3. That should be everybody. I can kill this guy, get a reload, hold space, and interact with this door. And now we're on to the pit. Fun, exciting stuff. So we have a very long cutscene to go through here. But I'll just go ahead and skip through this part, as there's nothing that we need to really cover. Once you regain control here, we're just going to be punching a bunch of zombies. This is where like our unarmed level comes into play. We're going to be doing a lot of boxing here. Just make sure all the zombies are dead. And try not to get grabbed. Looks like everyone's dead in this group, so I'm going to move on to the next crate. Just box everyone here. Unfortunately, I got grabbed. That is very slow. Try not to let that happen in your runs. I think everyone's dead. Move on to the next crate. There will be a couple outlier zombies here. And this guy can be annoying. Where'd he go? I guess he killed himself. So now we want to go look for metal parts. So we're going to search all these bodies as long as we can before we have to go pick up the next weapon. I'm going to stop searching bodies here. And I'll look for metal parts after, just so I can interact with this in time. After we finish this little fighting sequence here, when we kill the virals, there's going to be an animation that Crane brings out his hand and he tries to, you know, stop from turning, but we're going to interrupt that like we did in the tutorial earlier. Try to do a side dodge here. I wasn't able to get it, but there's a chance you're able to side dodge to skip getting tackled. I'll go ahead and just headshot that guy to kill him instantly. So pay attention to the minimap where these guys are. And after you kill the last one, get ready, mantle something to interrupt that animation. And now we can continue going to look for metal parts. Anything. And these metal parts will only drop from bodies that you killed, so don't bother looking for like other items on the ground. Damn. Kinda got unlucky. No metal part drops. So we're just gonna continue through the pit here. We can actually do quite a bit of skipping of the movement here. What we're gonna do is hit that trigger. That will allow us to progress. I believe I hit the correct trigger. Did I? Yeah, I did. Okay. Here's a little bit of a difficult skip. When you come around this corner, you want to be sprinting, and then hard turn around the corner, and just keep spamming jump, and you should be able to skip over the fence here. See if I can get it. Ooh, I messed it up. This is a backup. You can actually just mantle all the way around, but if you're good enough, you can just go straight over that fence. Ideally, earlier, when I was looking for metal parts, I would have found my metal parts, and then at that point, I would have also mantle onto that ledge, not take fall damage. I would have damaged my machete to a state in which I could repair it. I don't think I did enough damage, I'm not sure. I'm going to damage it a little bit more up ahead. There is actually a out of bounds you can do here by jumping right here on the doorway. You can go for it once in your run, but if you miss it, just keep going the normal way. It is a bit tricky. As you can see, I'm not getting it right now. If you jump at this doorway at the right spot, you can get it to work. But it's not working for me right now. It is quite difficult. If you don't get it on your first attempt, just continue all the way up here to this door and damage your weapon a bit. And leave the construction site. So because I didn't get my metal parts, I am going to add them into my menu by cheating. But in your runs, hopefully you got them, because we're going to be doing a skip with them later on. Okay. So the movement here for this load screen is just forward and sprint. Then we're going to be stuck in an animation here. Now during this entire section, we're super slow, so our optimal movement here is just dashing to the right and crouching to extend our slide. Now, the reason why we were looking for metal parts on those bodies was so we can skip the animations here that happen once we cross certain thresholds. So you want to start repairing your weapon about now. Oh wait, I don't have metal parts anymore. Let me grab those. My bad. Okay. Imagine I had metal parts the entire time. I'm going to start repairing my weapon. I'm going to hit that trigger, and then cancel the repair by kicking and crouching. And then the other trigger is about one dash after you turn this corner. I'm going to dash once, repair. I hit the trigger. Now I can drop this weapon. I don't need it anymore. And keep on going down this way while slide crouching. If you don't get metal parts, you will have to eat those animations, unfortunately. Just keep side dashing to the right over here. And at this point, after you get to this animation, you can just hold space. Skip this cutscene that's coming up. Skip this dialogue. And get your inventory back. Manage your inventory how you wish. Doesn't really matter. I like to have my grappling hook here. My firecrackers up top. And then my shield on the bottom. We're also going to go to our quests and go to on the hooks and then perform an exit warp. Just gonna hold back here during this loading screen. Drink a speed potion. And then just use my grapple. And we're going to see Sink before we go do Save Your Sewers. Come down here, talk to our boy. And we're going to switch our quest to Mother's Day. Now, earlier in the run, before we went to Pit, we updated our Mother's Day quest, so now we're going to spawn somewhere else that's not the tower. And this is going to take us near to our next objective that we need to go to. If you have any reloads you need to do on your weapons, this is the time to do so. But after you get the save icon after talking to Sank, do an exit warp. I believe the movement here is forward and left. Then just hold left after you press continue. Now we're going to grapple up here. Grapple here. Now once you enter this little tunnel here, you're not going to get a save icon in your runs because the save icon that previously happened will be like still going on. But just know that once you cross the threshold where you're like considered inside the tunnel, you're able to exit warp to Bozak Horde. So basically you can see where I got that save icon. That's roughly the area that you have to touch. And from here we can go to Bozak Horde and do our return to main campaign exit warp. So we're going to go down, space, space, return to main campaign. This is going to take us into the entrance to Save Your Sewers. So we're going to hold forward and sprint. And then we're going to hold forward and left. And make our way over to these doors. Once you see the save icon, do an exit warp. And then we're going to do another exit warp as soon as we load back in. The reason why we do this exit warp is so we make the NPC that's walking, which is right here. Or sorry, the first exit warp was to make the NPC teleport over to where he finished walking. And the second exit warp was to teleport us next to the NPC. For this loading screen, we don't have any movement. Just press space to continue. And then go talk to the NPC once you load in. Now we're going to perform a wall clip here. Look towards this wall, hold forward, space, look up and down. You should go through the wall with ease. Look up here, and now we're going to do a large out of bounds sequence for most of this area. You can actually hook about right here, and you'll mantle through the roof, just like that. You're going to jump down here, and hook over here to land right here to start some dialogue. After you start that dialogue, you need to rub up against this wall, just like that. Hit an additional trigger that's invisible, and then you can continue doing the out of bounds sequence. There is another trigger we have to hit. That's right here. You can just run past there. And you know you hit all the triggers if you hear that spitter spawn. That's how you know you did everything right. So you can continue with the next out of bounds. For this one, we're going to want to do a backdash and then hook. Go out of bounds again. Then you can do another hook over here. Here's one more trigger we have to hit. Look at the save icon on the bottom right. That's when you know you hit it. Just walk forward here. And I can see the save icon. So that's how I know I can turn around. Now this next one is very, very tricky. So my lineup for this is once I reach this area, I'm going to hold forward, left, sprint, and then jump. And I'm going to hook roughly this wall. And right on the other side of this wall, there is a trigger that we're able to just graze to continue with the rest to Save Your Sewers. It is very difficult. There are some backup strats you can use, but you can find those on the Dying Light Discord. But here's the strat I use in my runs. So jump to the left, and I hit the trigger. I can tell because I got the save icon on the bottom right. I did an additional hook there to not take fall damage. Now the next trigger we need to hit is down here in this. We're going to fall down there, and then hook up here. Now all these enemies should be spawned. So I'm going to shoot this enemy, and then continue down here. Hook here to not take fall damage on this pipe. Walk into the water, walk back out, and you should be set up to use your grapple hook over here. Just rub up against this pipe, jump through here, or hook if you have to. Now turn around. I need to drink a speed pot, so I'm going to do that. And try not to die to these guys. Now we can just continue to the exit of the sewers. Bad grapple, classic. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm gonna bring out my one-handed melee weapon here because I'm gonna need it when we set up HSG as soon as we get into Old Town. Now we're into Old Town. Congratulations for making it this far in the tutorial. This is where things get very serious very fast. This beginning section for Old Town is quite difficult. We're going to be doing a difficult HSG setup. And there's going to be a cutscene immediately after we skip this one. We're going to hold down and left and just hold space and keep holding it to skip the cutscene. Now we're going to set up HSG here. We're going to do a double animation on this. Turn around. Activate HSG on this zombie that's eating the corpse there, which he usually is. And now we need to do HSG and hook the top of this tower. Now, hooking this tower can be tricky because when you fly near it, you'll be considered in a safe zone and you'll have your hook removed from you. So you have to hook it at like the right timing to where before you enter the safe zone, so you don't get your hook taken away. So let's see what that looks like. Should look something like that. Now we're down here. And if you're good enough, you can interact with this door without taking fall damage, but I screwed up. Immediately after opening the door, we're going to step outside here and perform a dark zone. Just like that. And now we have the dialogue down there that says Jade. That tells me that I'm able to exit warp over to higher education. This is going to take us to the university where we need to go to next. So what we're going to do here is just press space to continue. There's no movement. We're going to talk to Fidon. Okay, now we're going to exit the university to search some dialogue. We're going to switch to Three Moons Restaurant in our quests. Now there's currently some dialogue going on that we need to skip. And the way we can do that by talking to this NPC, and we can just immediately exit warp as soon as we initiate that conversation. Now we'll skip all that dialogue with Troy, I think it is. Right, there's no load screen movement here. Just gonna make our way back to Troy. Look on top of here. Oh, bad hook. Hook up here. And just hook to the top of here. I'm going to drink a speed pot, just because I know I need one. Now, as soon as you see the save icon here, go to New Atlantia Apartments, and just do an exit warp after doing the cutscene with Troy. Now, we're just using the apartments teleport here as a way to get to our next objective. The load screen movement here is forward and sprint. And then we're just going to try to look up slightly and spam jump to mantle this wall. Now, here's a new glitch. So far for the run, we're going to swim forward a little bit, go into our inventory, and press X to drop one speed booster. Now we're going to back up and pick up the speed booster. In a few frames, when you pick up an item while you're in water, you can actually activate your grapple hook. So that's what we're going to do here. So pick up the speed booster, use our grapple, cancel, swim up. Now we're able to go to public face instantly, just like that. Right, there's no load screen movement here, so just press space to continue. On public face, we spawn in here. What we're going to do is just move to the forward and left, turn around, mantle through this wall. And now we're out of bounds. Mantle our grapple over here. Grapple into this pipe. And grapple up here. Now after you push this door, there's going to be an animation that exists right beyond this doorway. In order to not get that animation, you want to be busy doing something else, like drinking a speed pot like this. And that way you can skip that animation. Now we're just going to talk to our boy Michael. Pick up these explosives. And go to the elevator. Now, if you haven't got plastic so far in the run, this is a good time to be searching for plastic inside all these containers here. Most of these containers won't lose you time. Like, you can hit this elevator button, search this container, hey look, plastic. So we could pick that up. and then you have enough time to press this elevator button. But yeah, those containers, as you see, they can drop plastic. Now I have a very precise setup here. I'm gonna crouch and move forward and align my crosshair to where this little triangle is, and move left to where these two dots are. And then I'm gonna set up my hook. If I'm lucky enough, I'm able to hook right here without failing. There's a chance that this zombie corpse could get into your way and screw up your hook. But if you're still holding crouch and you grapple right here, should be golden to make it all the way to the top, just like that. And continue on through public face.
Pour l'instant.
This next door is a little bit weird. For some reason, you're unable to walk through this door, but the way you fix that is by mantling up here, and you're able to walk through. But just continue through these rooms, kill this zombie, that one, and go plant some explosives. If you don't have plastic, you can look in this box, look in here, shoot these zombies out of your way. After you plant this explosive, go ahead and just do a save and quit. Load back in.
J'ai trouvé Michael.
For this little screen, we're going to hold forward and sprint.
Je suis censé
After we
posséder
press
des
space to
explosifs
continue, we're going to hold back and to the right. And go upstairs. Get ready to throw a firecracker here to distract these zombies. Now we're going to perform a pretty simple wall clip. All we're going to do on this doorway is do a backdash and then hook. Weave that mantle and hook up into this room. Oops. Ideally you want to hook inside. Go ahead and plant this explosive. Here's another container for you to look inside. For some plastic. We're going to do the same thing here. Backdash, hook. Hook up here. Hook over here. Now after we plant this explosive, there's going to be a lot of dialogue going on. But we have time to check a bunch of containers. So this will be your general route for looking for containers. Hey, look, plastic again. This is a pretty lucky run. Plastic is a very uncommon drop, so don't expect this kind of RNG in your runs. But go ahead and just go through all these. But as you can see, we have plenty of time to look through all these crates for some plastic. And if you got your cycle right, this elevator door should be open up here.
Dis pas n'importe quoi, Michael.
And make sure you cycle
Retourne par Troy. Tout de suite.
your grapple hook as you fall down so you don't lose access to it. Because if you fall a certain amount of height without grappling, you will not be able to use it anymore. Just grapple, and then grapple, and then grapple as you fall down.
Merde.
Right, we're just going to continue through here. One more out-of-bounds sequence to do. This one's actually really fun to perform. I like it. It looks cool, and it's relatively easy. Pick up this explosive,
Tout va bien, Michael.
and then go through here. So we're going to grapple on top of this wall, and that should just put us out-of-bounds very easily. And then we're going to sprint, jump, and grapple this. And then we're immediately going to turn to the left and land on this pipe over here that you see. Just like this. Once you're on this pipe, you can jump and then hook to the back of this white wall, and you should be able to hit that objective that you see on your mini-map, and then land on top of this pipe here. Just like that, and from here, you can just go grapple to the exit of public face.
J'ai le détonateur maintenant. On va voir ce qu'ils ont préparé.
So after you skip this load screen, there is a cutscene. So make sure you keep holding space, and I'm just going to hold down, right, and hold space the entire time. Now we have some dialogue, and we need to get rid of this dialogue somehow. So what I'm going to do is go initiate a minigame, and that will cancel all the dialogue that's going on. So go ahead and just follow this grapple route. Cancel this minigame. And then go hit this trigger. Once you see it update on your minimap, turn around. And then go do a crouch down here into this room. Interact with this door. We're going to switch our quest to the Striped Dragon Hotel. Once you see the save icon on the bottom right, do an exit warp. Now for this load screen, there is a chance you can be grabbed by a zombie. If you do, you're just unlucky. But hold forward left and just keep spamming jump to hopefully jump over the zombie's head. And I'm moving my mouse slightly left here so I don't fall off the map. Grapple up here. Grapple over here. Now we're going to go initiate some dialogue with Tariq. Backdash out of this room once that dialogue starts. Talk to our boy here. Go back and talk to Tariq. Now we need to take some damage. We're going to jump down here, take some damage, switch our quest to Legless Spider, and when we see that save icon in the bottom right pop up, we're going to do another exit warp. The reason why we took that damage is because we're going to be doing a new glitch, which is Shield Fly glitch. And the way this works is we're going to be using our medkit and doing a mantle and interrupting the medkit with our grapple. That's going to make us fly whenever we mantle off of a ledge or jump off of a ledge. This black screen movement is forward and left. If you spawn in, just go ahead and jump down here. Grapple here. Grapple over here. And then just make your way over to the museum. Doesn't matter if you run out of grapples here. You might be able to save some time if you do your grappling underwater technique here. I've never tried it in runs. It may save time. You can go ahead and test that. I don't think any other top runners do it here. So we're going to be doing a wall clip here. The unique thing about this wall clip is that all you have to do is hold space and just spam jump. You should be able to climb up this wall. Grapple here. And before we enter museum, go ahead and craft your toxic trap bombs. I appear to be missing an item for my toxic trap bombs. Ah, it's the plastic I never picked up. Well, I'm just going to cheat some plastic in for my run. This is what the plastic looks like in the item menu. If you just want to do some practice and get some plastic, it's right here, plastic tube. Get to cheat that in. And if you've got plastic by this point, you go ahead and just craft it before you enter museum. Craft your toxic trap bombs, that is. And you can exchange that for your firecrackers, as we don't need firecrackers for this. Alright, on to museum. Okay, so immediately loading into museum, we're going to be performing a new glitch, which is Shield Fly glitch. The way we do this is we're just going to turn around, and we have low health. So what we're going to do is jump, use a med kit, and then we're going to press forward space grapple all before we hit this ledge. And if we do it correctly, we should initiate Shield Fly glitch. This is tricky to learn, but once you get the technique down, it will be very easy. So just you know, go through the motions, get the trick down. Again, it's going to be hard to learn at first, but anyone can do it. It's just a matter of getting through that learning process. I'm going to jump, heal, and then press jump, forward, grapple to go onto this ledge. And from here, I should just be able to fly, just like that. And you're able to cancel the fly by using shield. Just go ahead and practice that for a bit. Going to jump, medkit. Oh, sorry. Oh, don't want to heal there. Jump, medkit, jump forward, grapple. I messed that up because the grapple came out. Jump, heal, jump forward, grapple. I messed it up again. See? Yeah, I guess it's tricky, and even I don't know how to do it. Jump, heal, forward, jump, grapple. That should be it again. Just like that. So just try to keep an eye on what my inputs are here. Just like that. I should be able to do it again. Try to do it and do the clip now. What I'm going to do is turn this direction, look down, and once I'm in the wall here, I'm going to use my shield to cancel Shield Fly glitch and spam looking up and down to clip through the wall. Now we should be underwater. So what we're going to do here is hit all of the triggers in museum from out of bounds. So the first trigger we need to hit is right behind this grappleable ledge. So I hit that trigger. As you can see on the mini-map, now I'm going to grapple the roof here, grapple over here, cancel my grapple, and get a swim down to this near the stairs here. And I should be able to hit that trigger. Now this is the tricky one. So for this one, we want to grapple the ceiling, and then grapple the ceiling a little bit further away. And we should be able to land on the other side of the area over here while still able to bounce in the water. This is the hardest part of it. It was a really bad grapple, so I might need to use 3 grapples here. No, looks like 2 is enough. I can swim back up over to this trigger. And then I'm going to go ahead and do another grapple on the ceiling. 1 more grapple. And swim down here to hit that trigger. And make your way over to the top over here. Cancel your grapple. Do this. Drink a speed pot if you have to. And try to grapple right here. And if you do so correctly, you can mantle this ledge while skipping that animation that slows you down. Just make your way to museum interior. Shoot this, shoot that. If you have a shotgun here, it'll be useful to shoot all 4 of the enemies downstairs. I would recommend using the shotgun for this section. So those 4 enemies are dead. Now you can switch to a different weapon like an SMG for this one. Shoot these 4 enemies. What? That guy's a tank. Got 3 more enemies here. Try not to shoot that fire extinguisher as you shoot that guy, because if you do and you try to interact with this gate, you'll be blown off of the animation and you'll need to interact with the gate again. So we're going to do another wall clip here. This one is the most difficult wall clip in my opinion. We're going to run forward until we hear some dialogue start and immediately turn around and mantle this wall. Now we're going to look to the left, but we don't want to like have our hands stick out. We're just going to look to the left and then immediately jump and then move our mouse to the right while simultaneously holding forward and left on our movement keys. And if we do it right, we should be able to go through that wall, grab that ledge so we don't take fall damage, and then cancel. That is the hardest wall clip in the run, so if you can't get it on your first try, please just keep on practicing. It is very difficult. I got lucky there that I got it my first try. I'll go ahead and just do some parkour on the outer side of this awning, whatever you want to call it. And if you have a shotgun here, this is probably where it saves the most time in the entire run, is these next 3 killing sections. After you kill the last zombie, there's going to be one of those animations, so make sure you're drinking a potion. So you interrupt the animation, and then immediately throw down your toxic trap bomb. As soon as this toxic trap bomb detonates and starts damaging you, open this door. What's going to happen is that the toxic trap bomb deals 250 damage to us, and we have 200 health after we interact with that door. So it's actually going to kill us during this cutscene. When this happens, you just want to keep pressing space to skip the death message that comes up. As soon as you see the save icon on the bottom right, reload. So quit the main menu, load back into the game, and then you'll spawn next to Jade inside here, and you can shoot all these zombies. After you kill the last zombie in this area, immediately throw another toxic trap bomb over to the next doors that we're going to interact with. So there's the last zombie. Throw a toxic trap bomb. Get ready. As soon as the toxic trap bomb detonates, interact with the door. I think the distance away you are standing from the toxic trap bomb does influence the damage it does to you. So try to stand generally on top of the toxic trap bomb so you take that full 250 damage. So you always get these cutscene skips. So keep pressing space. As soon as you see the save icon on the bottom right, do another exit warp. And we'll fix our game state here so we can continue the run. During this whole screen, just hold forward and left. And this entire section, we're just going to be side dashing through all these doors here. Do not drink a speed potion yet, as we're going to be using a nightmare exit warp to boost or to stack speed pots. So we're going to go through here. Now we can drink a speed pot, fall down here, and then do an exit warp. Once we see the save icon on the bottom right, go to Nightmare. There's no load screen movement here, so just press space to continue, and then just run forward and sprint once you load back in. We'll drink another speed pot once we get down here, and then just run through this entire sequence while managing your Nightmare speed pot. Whenever it runs out, fall down here. Just run all the way to the end of the dream sequence. There's really no major skips for this dream sequence. Kind of just have to go through the entire thing. Also, I should mention, if you never got plastic and you didn't get toxic trap bombs, you would have to watch all those cutscenes that we skipped earlier by dying. But just continuing to the end here, nothing to really talk about. Just keep sprinting. Mantle on top of these stairs once they're there. Now, unfortunately, there is no known current way to skip this next cutscene. Possibly in the future, if one of you guys wants to do some science, might be able to find a cutscene skip for this. But we do have to watch this entire cutscene coming up. Interact with this door, and then we'll resume once the Tahir fight comes around. This adds nothing to the run, but look at Tahir walk through the goddamn doors here. He just phases through the wall. I'm terrified of this boss fight. This man can walk through walls. He's just as strong as we are. Fucking scared. Alright. So immediately drop your sword. Run forward. Oh, that is not the normal attack pattern he does. That's crazy. Try not to get hit there like I did. Just skip that cutscene. I have never seen that attack pattern where he just charges at you. That's wild. Okay. I got skill issued there, but go ahead and just side dash all the way to the next set of enemies over here. And then we're going to go collect all of our items that were taken from us. Now, we do not want to take a lot of damage from these guys, as that's going to cause an issue later on when we try to do a death warp over to Troy. Take too much damage, just feel free to heal. Nice T-pose, bro. Alright, these guys are dead. Now we're just going to wait to do some inventory management and switch our quest to Three Moons Restaurant. Collect everything. Do some inventory management, how you like it. Down with toxic trap bombs, so we don't need them anymore. Switch your quest to Three Moons Restaurant. Drink a speed potion. Honestly, I guess I shouldn't have. It really doesn't matter on Nightmare. So as soon as you exit the cutscene, just save quit. And we're going to load back into Three Moon Restaurant. There's no black screen movement here. Or load screen movement. Turn around. Grapple up here. Grapple down here. Now we're going to perform a death warp on this oil, so go ahead and ignite that. Put your quest over to Bunker during the death warp. And then we're going to talk to our boy Troy. Or our girl, my bad. And then immediately perform an exit warp. The load screen movement for Bunker is going to be back and to the left. You want to drink a speed potion here? But we're going to grapple over here. And I got a save icon on the bottom right. So as soon as you see that save icon, you can go ahead and do an exit warp to broadcast. And then during this one, we're going to go back to story mode. That's why you want to drink a speed potion, because we're going to stack our nightmare speed potion with our story mode speed potion. And when you do that second grapple over there to like the walls, you will get the save icon that lets us know that we can teleport to broadcast sewers now. And during that, I just held interact, didn't really move any buttons or anything like that. Now we're going to go ahead and drink a speed potion during this screen. We're going to do a backdash, grapple, do another backdash, and then grapple on top of this wall. This is a pretty simple out of bounds, but you're going to jump here, jump when you land on here, jump here, grapple over here, and then grapple onto this like gray brick thing. Now it's important to check your mini-map here. Once we grapple down here, we want to make sure we spawn in the zombies. Okay, we're good. So we can grapple to this side. And now we're going to grapple roughly right here. And we want to make sure we spawn in a bunch of zombies on our minimap. And that's going to let us know that we hit the right trigger. I'm actually going to not hit the trigger to show you where it is. I'm going to go over here. And the trigger is, I think, right here. So that's why I wanted to grapple here instead. But as you can see, look on the minimap, lots of zombies just spawned. So if you went the right way that I initially wanted you to grapple, you would have hit that trigger once you mantled. Okay, go through this door, just spam forward and jump. Go down here. And then make your way over to the keycard area. There's nothing we can really do to save time here, as we are going through all this dialogue. Perhaps in the future, we can implement HSG here somehow, but as of right now, it's not really useful for the route. Don't really worry about it. Now up ahead, we are going to be doing shield fly glitch again. So we're going to need to take damage so we can initiate that. Go down here, pick up the key card. I ran out of my speed booster, so I need to repair that. I got lucky, and I got hit by the spitter. So that'll be my source of damage that I need to take. But if you didn't get hit by the spitter, I'll show you the other source of damage you can take. That's consistent. These grapples are really bad. Just try to grapple over here. Do not climb that. Grapple over here. And these generators will actually deal damage to you. You can just touch those to take damage instead. Throw a firecracker to distract all these zombies. Open this door. Now we're going to perform shield fly glitch once again, like we did at the start of Museum. This is going to be a slightly different setup. Or I guess you could do the same setup we used back on Museum if you wanted to. But this is an alternative. So switch to your grapple. They're going to jump, heal, mantle, grapple. Now you can see my legs are frozen, so that tells me shield fly glitch was successful. Mantle onto this ledge, and make sure you wait until your arm fully sticks out like this, or else you won't be able to get the full range of movement that you want. Once your arm is fully sticking out, go ahead and jump. About here, turn around and face this way. And now keep using your survivor sense to look at your objective distance. And about 15 meters, and get a turn around and to land on top of this tower. So activate your shield to cancel shield fly glitch. Should be up here now. Wait for some dialogue. Skip this cutscene. Now, if you're lucky, after your objective updates, you will be able to go teleport to the bunker by doing an exit warp. So let's see. Objective updated. Hey, I got the bunker. Sometimes in your runs, the bunker will bug out and not be able to be teleported to. The quest just won't be here. But the way around that is just teleport to some other quest like Legless Spider. And then once you load back in, go teleport to the bunker. But we got lucky. The bunker's here. So we're just going to do an exit warp over there. Exit to the main menu. Load back in. And the movement here is just back and to the left like we did last time. Mantle this wall. Hook here. Be careful not to hook too high up, as you won't have access to your grapple hook if you fall for too long. I'm just going to make our way downstairs. Go back into broadcast, and then immediately exit broadcast again. This is just to update our objective and hit some triggers. So turn around, exit. And once you load back in, you can switch your quest to parking lot and immediately do another exit warp. Now we're on our way to clinic, which happens to be the most interesting part of the run. Well, I don't want to call it interesting, but it's unique, I'll say that. Turn around, look up here,
Docteur Camden, ici Kyle Crane. Vous me recevez?
and just make your way over to clinic.
C'est exactement ce que je comptais faire, Doc.
Once you're inside, just go ahead and wait for these two guys to spawn in.
Affirmatif.
I would
Je serai
use
bientôt
the
là.
shotgun here if you have it. And we're just waiting to interact with this button.
C'est moi, je m'appelle Crane.
Prenez l'ascenseur et appuyez sur le bouton du rez-de-chaussée.
Compris.
Oh, we're just going to go downstairs into clinic. And then we're immediately going to perform the double animation to set up HSG. Once we get downstairs in the elevator. This part of the run is really fun to me. I don't know why. It's just such a cool route in my opinion. You can drink a speed potion here if you want. You're not going to need it for very long anyway. So switch to your one-handed melee weapon, get your hook ready. Open this door, and then after the door is open, backdash. We're going to backdash so we can set up our double animation to do HSG. So set up HSG on this far wall. Just like that, crouch through. Now we're going to mantle through this right here. Just hold forward, sprint, and jump. You should be able to mantle through the wall. There's actually a hole right here. Pick up this keycard, activate HSG on this zombie, and now we're going to perform a dark zone by looking up, drinking our speed potion, and toggling down the FPS while simultaneously spamming our pause button. And if you did it correctly, you should teleport to... I honestly don't know. So the way this works is that interior maps don't have bounds that will respawn us. And our coordinates are currently not a number. So our coordinates are essentially invalidated. So what's going on here is that we're constantly hitting every single trigger, like on every single frame, 24/7. Because the game kind of thinks we're everywhere at once simultaneously. So we just sort of hit everything everywhere at once. Now we're just going to chill here for a while until our objective updates a couple times. But yeah, this is my favorite part of the run. Don't ask me why. It's just nice to AFK through clinic finally. As you can see, all the triggers are being hit, all the dialogue is going through, because each time a new trigger pops up, we instantly hit it. So we can just keep killing over here in the 5th dimension. Okay, our objective updated. We're going to wait for one more objective update, but you don't want to immediately exit warp. Go ahead and drink a speed potion here if you need to. Now, after this objective updates, wait for the text to start appearing right now. Now we can do an exit warp. This is going to bring us into the generator room. For this screen, hold back. Then go power all 3 of the generators. 1, 2, 3. Look over here. Jump in this gap in the wall. Look up here. And just wait over here for the next objective to update. So just roughly stand near where this yellow pipe is under me. On this seam in the wall. Once the objective updates, grapple over here. And go press this big red button to start the decontamination process in this room. And yeah, that's Clinic in the route nowadays. It's probably my favorite part of the run, not for how, you know, fun to do the tech is or anything like that. It's just so interesting to me. I don't know why. It's just the coolest thing in the world. How dark zoning on interior maps just happens to behave. Just absolutely, just such a fascinating, like, glitch HSG is, in my opinion. Okay, just gonna run through here, interact with this door. As soon as you hear the music, right now, go ahead and do an exit warp as soon as you hear that music after you skip the cutscene.
J'ai vu Camden.
And then just look slightly to your right and just hold interact to exit the clinic. Now we're going to be doing a bit of a tricky HSG flight sequence here. There's no black screen movement or load screen movement here, so just go ahead and start sprinting after you load in. Set up HSG up here. Cancel your hook to land on top of this van. And then we're going to do an HSG flight while following this road. We're going to go over here, out to the right, and then turn around to follow the road. We should be high enough to dodge these buildings under us. We're going to go ahead and do the Rise GRE call over here up on this tower. So we're going to use our grapple hook right here. And if you get on top of this tower, it's okay, because as a backup, you can just fall into the tower like this. And after we use our radio, you can either do a death warp and fall down, or you can do a dark zone. So once you do the dark zone, you can go ahead and start a cutscene over here. After this cutscene, your HUD's going to come back. Once your HUD reappears, you're able to teleport to Mother's Day. Now, alternatively, if you decided to do a death warp, instead, you would just talk to Fadon and then do the exit warp to Mother's Day once your HUD comes back. I don't know which method's faster. Honestly, I haven't tested. This is just my preferred method to do the dark zone to get there. For this load screen, I think it's just hold back. I believe it's just hold back. The strat is very new. Yeah, it is. Okay, so just hold back there. Hook up here. And now we are entering the final portion of the entire run. Congratulations if you made it this far. So go ahead and just spam space to exit that menu. And then we're going to hold forward and sprint during this load screen. Now we are officially on the last portion of the run, Extraction. Exciting. Alright, so you're pretty slow during this entire sequence, so just go ahead and do some side dashes over to this doorway. Extraction is mostly very straightforward. There are a couple movement tech sequences we can cover. If you get hit by that rock, it's not much of a time loss at all, because you have to wait for zombies to spawn. So, kill by this van. You can just see all the zombies spawn on your minimap and the objective updates. You can continue forward. Make sure you're checking out your speed boosters to keep popping your pots. We're gonna fall down here and shoot the baby. And just run all the way to the end of this tunnel. Be careful, don't follow out of bounds here, as you will be sent all the way back to the start of this section. So just focus on making your way to the end here. There's no movement tech. Instead of climbing all the way up this ladder, you can just cancel the climb and do a little jump right here and mantle this ledge. If you're good, you can get a fast mantle, but I'm not gaming today, I guess. Go ahead and side dodge all the way over here. You don't have to be too quick for this section, as we do have to go slow. Make sure we hit all the triggers that we need to. Up here. Make your way to the top. And I was slow enough to where I could just sprint all the way to press this button. If you're too fast here, you're going to skip like a trigger that's right here. And you'll have to walk back and hit this trigger. But I was slow enough to where I could just go straight to the elevator. Now we're just going to ride up the bitrate destroyer. Very important, make sure your flashlight is off. And don't shoot your weapons during this section. Because our goal here is to use the zombie that's on top of this crane and land on him. The reason why we want to land on him is because we take no fall damage animation if we do. Whereas we have a really long fall animation if we land on these trash bags. So, try not to make any noise to lure him off of there. Go ahead and drink your speed potion. Open this gate. And just run to go talk to Kareem. Now we'll see if the zombie's in the right spot for us to land on his head. He is not, so I'm going to move towards these trash bags so I don't die. But if the zombie is in the good spot for you, you can land on top of him. I just got unlucky. Shoot this guy so you lure the bomber over here so he's not in our way. And we're going to turn, mantle up here. And then we gotta hit this trigger that's back here. We're gonna turn like that. And just some basic movement to get into this window. Make sure you shoot this guy here as he will insta-kill you. And instead of climbing the ladders here, we're just gonna climb the outside of the crane. And these next two ladders are mandatory. When you get on top of this ladder, make sure you kill this guy who throws rocks, as he will knock you off the crane. I think he's dead. Okay. Now we can just climb the rest of the crane. Go ahead and just do some parkour on the outside. This will take some practice. But make sure you get this down, as climbing the ladders is embarrassing and slow. You don't want to be that guy that climbs the ladders, trust me. That used to be me. If you want to be swag, jump on top of the zombie's head to get up there. Make sure you drink a speed potion before you climb up this if you don't have your speed pot. So you can make sure you run all the way to these yellow blocks fast enough. Try to jump roughly here so you don't jump like over there and have to sidle your way to this portion. Alright, almost at the end of the run. Switch to your grapple hook here, because we're going to use the grapple hook icon as an indicator of when we're going to do our next exit warp. So when you see the little grapple icon pop back up on your screen, that's going to let you know that you're good to exit warp. So we're going to go over here, turn over here. I see the grapple icon, so I'm going to exit warp. And once you load back in, you will be in the final fight with our boy. Alright, now that we loaded back in, we can do the final fight with Rise. The inputs for this are just left, down, right, up, left, and interact. Nothing to really go over here. But thanks for watching this HSG tutorial. I hope to see some more runs on the leaderboard in the future, as this has to be one of the most interesting speedruns I've ever done in my life. I absolutely love this category, and I think it's just absolutely like such an amazing and interesting glitch. Like, out of all the games I've speedrun over like the decade I've been doing it, it's just HSG has to be the coolest shit I've ever seen. I'll just press down. And we're gonna press right. Up. Left. And he's gonna try and trick you here. Don't fall for it. It's another left. Ooh. Spam interact here. And then we're gonna wait for a little bit. If you like this tutorial, please drop some feedback or a like on the video, subscribe. If you're interested in watching speedruns live, I do speedrun on Twitch at twitch.tv/EricG08. If you also want to see a commentated version of this route done in a RTA setting, I actually did this route over at GDQ for SGDQ 2026, and that will be linked in the description as well if you want to go watch the rundown live. And if you have any further questions, you can go ahead and leave a comment, or just go ahead and join the Dying Light Discord and forward all your questions there. Again, this route is just general coverage of what we do. There is lots to improve on and like minute details you can add to the run that will save you a significant amount of time. This is definitely not the most optimal way to run, but this is just, you know, kickstart your journey for running any percent HSG. Additionally, if you want to read up some more on how exactly HSG works, there will be a document in the description that was made by the community. I believe it was primarily Sneak and Guillaume that worked on that. So shoutouts to them. But if you're doing a speedrun right now, we are coming up on time. Once this interaction icon disappears, that will be the very end of your speedrun. And time. Alright, thanks for watching. Hope to catch you over at my stream later. And good luck, go fast on your runs.